After 5 years, Schoolboy Q has finally returned with the milk, and essentially has brought us this masterpiece known as Blue Lips. And I'm not gonna just immediately say it's a masterpiece, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have a lot to say about it, but with that being said, we are going to get the ins and outs of this album in this video. But before we do that, get your cranberry juice, get your Cheerios, and consider subscribing, as well as checking out my next video. It might be my best that I've ever put out. I really quickly want to say that Jay-Z co-signed this album, and I think that's a very big thing for this album, as well as this album cover is absolutely beautiful. I got really excited for this album when I seen the name, and everything about it I think was a very interesting idea. It's definitely something fresh, and that's something that I keep thinking about as I'm re-listening to this album, is the fact that I'm just thankful to hear Schoolboy Q again, bro. Like, he's really been gone for a minute, and it's really genuinely difficult to replicate somebody like him because of the influence that he has had. Also, this album does not have a single horrible song on it. I think there's a lot of really big highlights on here, and we're gonna get right into that track list right now, starting off with the first song on the album, which is Funny Guy, and it is 2 minutes and 38 seconds of me waiting for Schoolboy Q to start singing or rapping on this, and he doesn't really have an appearance on it. And then it kind of starts slower than that, because the next song is Pop with Rico Nasty, and I'm not gonna lie to you, Rico Nasty did not really do her thing, but thankfully it really picks up at the next song, Thank God For Me. And I think this song was actually one of the best songs on the album, if not the best song on the album, and I feel like it's probably going to be the biggest song on the album. Everybody seems to have enjoyed this song so far, and it continues that same momentum with Blue Slides, a very great song. And then Urine 101, which is the single that we got a little while ago, I think was a great way to start the album. It was like the biggest single pretty much, and it gets a little bit boring on Lovebirds, but I think it picks back up on Movie, and I was really excited for Schoolboy Q to have a verse on here. And as a lot of you probably have heard, this song is kind of missing him, but I still think it's one of the highlights on the album, despite him really not having like a big verse on it. Also, Cooties was pretty good. Then we have Ohio with Freddie Gibbs, and I'm always very excited to hear a new Freddie Gibbs feature, or any Freddie Gibbs song for that matter, and I was pretty impressed with this. I think he came a little bit late on the song, which kind of surprised me, but for the most part, the song itself was incredible. And then the second, or I think it was like the second beat switch, to be honest, Freddie Gibbs was on, and I appreciated it. And he also continues this momentum with F-O-U-X, Fuchs. I don't know how to say that, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it has Absol on it, and it's a pretty good song. I really enjoy whenever he makes a song with Absol. It always turns really good, and honestly, I think this is one of the better TDE albums of the recent years. But at the same time, I can't say it was something that was absolutely groundbreaking. I think that this was on the most accurate way to put this, I think this is a good album. And then it kind of slows down for the rest of the album after a couple of those. I liked Nunu, but after that I think it slowed down with the rest of the album. But with that being said, I give this album a 7 out of 10. I think it's a slightly above average. I think it's a good album. I don't think it's deserving of a 6, or maybe a 6.5. Maybe a 6.5 actually. 6.5 or a 7 on this album. With that being said, what did you guys think of Blue Lips? Let me know in the comments below for a chance to get pinned. I love seeing everything that you guys have to say about these. I know recently I just got put on that Twitter thing, and if you've seen that, I think it's pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie, I had a pretty wild take for adding Kanye in the big 4 because he's a generation behind, but I kind of always do this subconsciously in my head just because of the amount of influence that he had in the 2010s. With that being said though, I love you all very much. I'm conflicted, and I'm out. Peace.